All right, should we go with LAA or Lala?
Yeah. All right, so we got a question from La. I'm not quite sure how you meant to say that, but she says, or he says, hello, I really like your videos and itineraries. I am in New Zealand for 22 days. We arrive on day 1 in Christchurch and fly out on day 22 from Auckland. The main focus should be on the South Island. We can fly or take the ferry to get from the South Island to the North Island. Thank you so much.
All right, so it's about 3 weeks itinerary in starting on the South Island, which is quite good.
Yeah.
It's quite a good approach because there is a ton to do in the South Island. So to help you plan your trip, I hope
LAA.
Yeah.
La.
We are going to take our trusty map. All right. So should we put some destinations on there? Oh, here you go. So she's going to be arriving in Christchurch.
In Christchurch, yep.
And she's going to cross straight away to go all the way to Greymouth.
Okay.
Boom. Then she's going to go to the glaciers.
All right.
Okay. Then we're going to go to Queenstown. Then Dunedin. Mount Cook.
Yep.
And then we're going to go up to Kaikoura.
Sure.
And then we're going to go to Abel Tasman. And then to Picton. Then Wellington. Taupo. Rotorua. Waitomo. And Auckland.
Okay.
Here you go. All right, so let's tell you a few things about those places. So you're going to land in Christchurch right here, and because it's right here in the middle of the South End, and you may pass through it a couple of times. So what we suggest is when you're the first time arriving in Christchurch, take a bit of time to relax. And if you want to actually test a little bit the car rental that you're going to be taking, a good idea would be to go all the way to Akaroa right here, which is in the peninsula. There is some amazing wildlife there. There's some very small dolphins as well. It's a really amazing place to visit, and there is a ton of things to do. Plus, it's only kind of a short road trip from Christchurch, so I believe it will be taking you like about 2.5 hours, not even, to kind of go there and have fun there. So if you spend one day there, that also allows you to get used to the car. If there's an issue with the car, you can go back to your car rental here and be like, oh, something is wrong with my car. But probably nothing will be wrong, and soon enough, you'll be on your way toward the west coast of the South Island.
All right, so the reason basically to do this route really is so that you can enjoy the journey between Christchurch and Greymouth, which is called the Arthur's Pass Road. It's a really amazing, stunning way to get to the other side of the South Island. You're going through beautiful mountainous landscapes. There's a few short walks that you can check out along the way, and going to various waterfalls. A really good one along the way is called the Devil's Punch Bowl. And then you'll arrive in Greymouth, which is the largest town on the west coast of the South Island. In Greymouth, you can take a brewery tour because New Zealand's really into its beer. They have the Monty's Brewery there, which will only take you about an hour, say, to go and do that experience. You can go and do some beer tasting there as well. And if you want to do something a little more adventurous, there's a place called On Your Bike, which is basically a self-drive, four-wheel drive buggy experience, or quad biking, where you go through some really cool muddy trails through the forest, driving a four-wheel drive vehicle, which is pretty awesome. We do have a video on that experience on the channel, so make sure to check it out.
All right, then you're going to make your way down the South Island, which is down the west coast of the South Island, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you have time, which you do, especially with this itinerary, you can get extra time kind of almost everywhere you want. So what we're doing with this itinerary, we don't give you the amount of days you should spend where, we just give you a few things to do, and whatever you fancy, you spend extra day there. But yeah, if you do have some extra time, take the time to do this drive very slowly and enjoy, and it's absolutely stunning. But you're arriving to the glacier country right here. So in glacier country, there is a couple of different spots. There is Franz Josef Glacier as well as Fox Glacier. And in there, you can take a helicopter to land on the glacier. It's really awesome. You get to go inside ice caves. You get to view the whole valley. You can get the sheer scale of the glacier just by landing on it. It's fantastic. There's also some hot pools, and there is also a wildlife center. So there's a lot of things to do in Franz Josef Glacier. If you have bad luck in Franz Josef Glacier, you may want to head to Fox Glacier, which very often has different weather. So if the weather's not good in one, maybe head to the next one. They're all roughly like about 30 minutes away from each other. So it's pretty close by, and it's a really amazing experience. Then you move on to Queenstown.
Okay, so this is going to be quite a long drive, something looking a little bit like that. So you're going to continue going down the west coast of the South Island and then going it's sort of inland to Queenstown on a road called Hast Pass, which is again a really awesome road trip experience where you get to drive through the mountains, which is really amazing. And again, lots of waterfalls to see along the way. There's a place called Fairy Falls. There's Thunder Creek Falls as well. So yeah, there's lots to do along the way. And you'll also pass through a town called Wanaka, which is really famous for its scenery as well. But we recommend basing yourself in Queenstown, which has loads of accommodation, loads of activities to do there. It's known as the adrenaline capital of the world. So you can do all sorts of crazy activities from bungee jumping, skydiving, whitewater rafting, jet boating, parasailing, canyoning, there's probably loads that I've missed, but honestly, pretty much anything that you can think of, you can do there. But but one of the main sort of things that you can do is do a side trip to Milford Sound, which is, it's kind of, well, it's actually not too far as far as the, what's it called, as far as the crow flies or whatever that phrase is.
If you fly like a bird, it's not too far. If you
fly like a bird, then it's only just across the way, but you have to actually do quite a long journey to get from Queenstown to Milford Sound. Someone can put the right phrase in the live chat for me.
Why a crow?
There's a phrase like,
I don't know, a tui, a kia, anything in New Zealand, but why a crow? Okay. Anyhow, what is there to do in Milford
Sound? It's the most popular thing to do there is to do a boat cruise, making your way through the gorgeous fjordland scenery, seeing again amazing waterfalls, amazing mountains, and yeah, it's said to be like one of the most beautiful places in New Zealand. But otherwise, you can also do scenic flights there, which makes the journey to get there not so long. There's also scuba diving you can do there, which is pretty unique. Also, you can do various different short walks around the area. There's what else is there to do? There's
one of the most popular things to do, although it's expensive, is to actually fly out of it and actually see everything there. So the cruise and the flight are probably the two things that you may want to do there.
Absolutely.
And in Queenstown, you can also do the luge, which is quite hilarious. By the way, all the activities that we're mentioning right now, we do have videos of it on the channel. La, when you are, when you're taking in all the itinerary that we've done for you, or LA, I'm going to call you La. You can go back on the channel and watch us do all those activities so we can see which one you like the most. Anyway, so once you base yourself in Queenstown and have done a bunch of activities, you can head to Dunedin. We don't talk about Dunedin often enough, just because since it's a little bit out of the way, we usually have to cut that part of the trip for people which are traveling New Zealand for like 2 weeks or under. But since you're here for 3 weeks, you get to go and see the beautiful Otago Peninsula. There is amazing amount of wildlife there. If you have some spare time, you can take a bit of a road trip right here in the Catlins. You can do a one-day road trip going in and out and checking out sea lions fighting. You can see video of that in the channel. You can see some amazing penguins. You can see amazing, like really kind of wide landscape. Or you can stay in Dunedin, and there you have the Otago Peninsula right there, where you can go to the Albatross Center, where you can see little blue penguins coming back from work at sea. It's quite cool. They just waddle their way back to their nest, and that's happening every evening. So you can go there on a tour. You can see the Royal Albatross, which are gigantic birds. You can see them play in the wind and land and everything. It's really amazing. And you can also join a wildlife tour where you can go check out some penguins, including the yellow-eyed penguin, which is really awesome. So if you're into wildlife, Dunedin is definitely a place that you don't want to miss. There is also some really other awesome things to do, such as Tunnel Beach, which is a really kind of cool. Well, you take the public bus to get there, and then it's a really cool walk on the cliff sides. It's quite stunning. But yeah, Dunedin, if you get to do that, you're really going to love it. But then you're going to backtrack a little bit and head toward Mount Cook.
Okay, so Mount Cook is known for, well, Mount Cook itself is the highest mountain in New Zealand. So there's the national park there and the little village called Mount Cook Village. And as you drive to Mount Cook Village, you realize that this is like where some of the probably most famous New Zealand scenery is. You get to see snow-capped mountains all year round. They have the longest glacier there called the Tasman Glacier, where you can do heli hiking, much like what you can do on the west coast where you do the Franz Josef glacier heli hikes. You can actually do it at Mount Cook as well on the Tasman Glacier. You can do various scenic flights to see all the amazing dramatic alpine scenery, and there's loads of walks that you can do there as well. You can walk to various glacier lakes and just, basically enjoy the amazing scenery there. It's kind of about being out in nature.
Exactly. All right, next up, you kind of have a long drive. It's up to you if you want to stop in Christchurch or not for resupplying your car, camper van, or anything. But we think you should head straight away to Kaikoura. So that's probably going to be the longest drive you have on this itinerary right here. But we think it's worth it because, well, first you get some really awesome landscape. You have the beautiful Canterbury Plains. Sorry, I'm going to try to speak a little slower. But the reward at the end of the trip is fantastic. Welcome to Kaikoura. It's the marine wildlife capital of New Zealand. You have whales, you have dolphins, you have seals. You will absolutely love it. So either you go on a whale watching tour, you go on a seal swimming tour, which is one of my favorite activities to do in New Zealand. But you can also go on dolphin swimming tours, and you can see us doing all those activities on the channel. They are phenomenal. Just by saying the name of those activities, you should already be excited about Kaikoura. I don't think I have to say more about Kaikoura. It's absolutely fantastic. And then we're heading to Nelson / Abel Tasman National Park.
Okay, so there's kind of two choices of where you might want to stay. You might want to stay in Nelson, which is the main town of the area. From there, you can do, there's various different like wineries around. There's all sorts of mountain biking and walks and stuff. But alternatively, you can stay near the Abel Tasman National Park, which is known for its golden sand beaches and lush coastal forest.
Wow.
I didn't know I was going to go with that.
Kayaking is really popular there. Also, if you don't feel like doing a full walk.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the one of the great walks of New Zealand is in the Abel Tasman National Park, which is the coastal track. It's about a 5-day walk, but you can make that shorter because there's water taxis picking people up along the coast. Alternatively, you can do kayaking tours, you can do sailing tours, and there's loads of different options for that. You can do a mix of both. You can do kayaking one way, hiking back. So yeah, that's another really cool place to check out.
All right, and then you're moving on to Picton. So just before you hop on the ferry, right? Most people go to Picton to take the ferry to go up to the North Island. There is a lot to do in Picton, and I really advise you to go on NZPocketGuide.com, which is our travel guide of New Zealand. It's actually the largest travel guide for New Zealand, and we put all our knowledge on there, and we love Picton. We love spending time there, and most people, they go in and out the ferry and they do not explore the area. There is a whole Marlborough Sound, which is so worth exploring. You can go to Lochmara, you can go check out some stingray and just have a nice day out. You can go do the Queen Charlotte track, you can go do some mountain biking, some one-day hikes. It's really phenomenal. It's so worth doing there. There is also a really cool tour, which is a mail boat tour, basically. Basically they just go and they drop mail off to a lot of people around the area, and you just join them and you check out most of the sounds and just see some people living in very, very remote conditions. It's really awesome. And there is also Eco Tour that gets you to go check out the bottlenose dolphin, which are the largest dolphin you can swim with in New Zealand, which is quite awesome. Sometimes you see orcas. It's just a phenomenal place to spend time on. So please head to our website. It's nzpocketguide.com, and we have travel guide for all the areas there, but just check out Picton and actually see that it's worth spending more time in, especially since you have way more time there. Anyway, you're gonna hop onto the ferry. Same thing if you want to see what it looks like when you hop onto the ferry, where to put the car and everything. We have everything on video right here. Just check out our videos on the channel. Just type ferry on the search bar, and you are up in Wellington.
Yeah, so Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, and there's lots to do there. There's probably the most famous attraction is is the Te Papa Museum. It's free to go to, and it's pretty huge. You'll probably spend a good hour or two looking at all the...
What? We spent a whole day last time we went there.
Yeah, well, it depends really how interested you are.
Yeah, it depends how much of a nerd you are.
Yeah, or how much... Usually it just takes as much time as you need it to take, really. You can spend as long as you like on... Yeah. So at Te Papa Museum, they have loads of different interactive displays. You can learn about the Maori culture, you can learn about the wildlife of New Zealand, about all the earthquakes and volcanoes and that sort of thing. So that's really awesome to check out. Alternatively, you can go to this really awesome wildlife sanctuary called Zealandia. It's basically a bird sanctuary where they have a predator-proof fence around the area, so birds can come and go as they like and basically be in a predator-proof environment. They have lots of like feeding stations, so as you're walking around you can see lots of like different parrots, some really crazy looking birds called the takahe, which are big blue birds which look like, you know, crazy looking chickens.
It's the most flamboyant chicken
Yes.
you'll ever seen in your life, aside from a peacock.
Yeah, so that's definitely recommended. But there's also the Botanic Gardens in Wellington. There's the Beehive, which is the Parliament buildings. They do free tours there. Also lots of good food and good drinks and all that sort of city stuff you can do. So you can definitely spend a good 2 or 3 days checking out all the sites in Wellington.
All right, now that you stuffed yourself in Wellington and you're ready to go for another adventure, you can drive up to Taupo. So now Taupo is just on the shore of New Zealand's largest lake, which is Lake Taupo. And this is where you can do a lot of really fun activities. It's the place where you can do the cheapest skydiving in the country. So if you feel like throwing yourself out of a perfectly good airplane, this is the place to do so. Why would you do that to yourself? You're crazy. Mm-hmm. If you want to see us do that on video, you have about 5 videos of us doing that as well. We are nuts. You can also climb Mount Tongariro, which was the set of Mordor in The Lord of the Ring. It's a fantastic hike. It's a day hike, probably the most popular hike in the country, and you will find some wildly different landscape that you've seen in the whole of the South Island. So that's also why we recommend you that, just to show you the amazing different style of landscape that you will get in New Zealand. So you definitely will love that. And there's also some cruises to go around the lake. There is a massive carving on the literally both inside and outside the water. Very Instagrammable as a place. So there is a ton of things to do right there. And the good thing is your next drive is actually quite short. It's only about 45 minutes. And you head to Rotorua.
Okay, so Rotorua is famous mainly for 2 things. One of them is the Maori culture. They have lots of different Maori cultural experiences there.
And food.
And food, yes. So there's various different tours. For instance, there's night tours at places like Tamaki Maori Village and Mitai Maori Village, where you can go and do sort of like find out how they do a pōwhiri, which is like a welcoming ceremony. There's also, you can do a hangi, which is basically a traditional style of food and cooking in New Zealand, where they do food in an underground oven, and they feed you that at the end of the night, which is pretty cool. And they do some cultural performances as well, and seeing the famous haka. But they do some daytime versions of that as well at places like Te Puia, which is also a geothermal park, which we'll get onto in a second. And the I didn't really want to bring this one up because I can never pronounce it, but the Waka Ferra
Whakaferofuru, I think.
Ferra Village.
It's on the website. So again, nzpocketguide.com, and you have all the spellings and the links and all that to help you do everything. And sorry for the pronunciation. Sometimes we get it wrong. But another good thing about Rotorua are all the geothermal attraction, because Rotorua is just kind of like where planet Earth kind of get into action, I guess. Yeah. So there's lots of geothermal parks to check out. Awesome. There's like steaming lakes and various bubbling mud pools. There's loads of different options for geothermal parks. There's a free one right in the center of town, called Kuruwau Park. Probably not pronounced right either. There's also the Waiopu. Is it called that? I've forgotten all the names. Waiotapu.
Laura,
okay, guys, it's 8:24 a.m. We're not awake yet.
Waiotapu Geothermal Park, which is probably the most famous one because it has the champagne pools with that sort of orange rim around the hot pools. There's also Te Puia, like I mentioned. It's also got Maori experiences there, but also has one of the largest geysers in New Zealand, which is pretty cool to see as well. And there's a few others which we do have listed on the website, so make sure to check that out.
All right, so yeah, there's definitely a lot to do in Rotorua, and we just like scraped the top right here. If you just type Rotorua on this channel, you will find a lot of videos of us doing all those activities. And if you do head on the nzpocketguide.com, you're going to find a lot more activities that we recommend there. Obviously on video, we can only just kind of give you the tip of the iceberg. All right, and then we're heading to Waitomo. So Waitomo is quite famous. First, alongside the way, you can actually stop by Hobbiton. It's pretty cool. This is where the set of the movie The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and it does look like Hobbiton, and you can see videos of that. I don't think I have to say too much about it. If you like The Lord of the Rings, you will stop there. You will go and take your pictures there. Now, Waitomo, this is where there is all the famous glowworms. You can take on the Waitomo caves in many different ways. You can go with Waitomo Adventures and go and do some style of black water raftings, which is kind of cavings going all around the caves, and you grab your tubes and you jump in small waterfalls and check out those caves full of glowworms along the way. And it's kind of a caving big adventure. It's absolutely epic, and definitely check out our videos about Waitomo on this channel to see like how big and brave you have to be to do that. You don't have to be too brave.
But then there's some more relaxed things to do as well.
Exactly. Then there are some easier caves to visit where you just are completely dry for the whole time, and you just walk around and look at the beautiful rock formations in the caves as well as the glowworms. It's a phenomenal place to visit. It feels like like anything I've seen on Earth. It's very, very different. And you get to learn as well a lot about kind of this ecosystem, which, I won't go too much into details. We go into details into our videos, as well as, I don't want to spoil too much for you on the tour, but it's really awesome to visit.
Yeah.
And then you head back to Auckland. So Auckland is your departure city. So it looks like from what you said, La, you're not having much interest into spending time on the North Island. So probably Auckland won't be the place where you want to spend too much time. But you're going to head out of Auckland. If you have a 1 or 2 spare day, what would you do?
Well, in Auckland, you can stay in the city centre, and there's lots of different things to see in the city, like the Auckland Domain, which is this big, really nice park with various walks and stuff to do through the forest, which is kind of crazy in the middle of the city, but that's what New Zealand's all about. But they also have the Auckland Museum there as well. If you didn't get a good enough fix of museums in Te Papa in Wellington, then there's another option in Auckland. But one of the things I definitely recommend doing there is there's the ferry building in the centre of Auckland, where you can take ferries to various different islands nearby. One of the really cool ones is Rangitoto Island, which is a 600-year-old volcanic island. It's got lava fields which you can walk through, lava caves which you can climb through, a huge crater in the middle of the island which you can have a look at and take some photos. And there's some really good lookouts over the water and over towards the city you get to see the city skyline of Auckland, which is really cool as well. But alternatively, there's a place called Tiri Tiri Matangi Island, and there it's more of a bird sanctuary island. So it's an island with no pests, no predators that would threaten the birds living there. And you basically get to see what New Zealand would have been like before humans came to New Zealand.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so they have kind of like I was saying about Zealandia with its different feeding stations for the birds. They have that on that island as well, so you can see birds really close up, and some of the New Zealand birds are pretty incredible. It's not just about the kiwi bird. Once you arrive in New Zealand, you see all the different types of really crazy birds there are here. Yeah, it'll probably give you a newfound appreciation for our feathered friends.
Oh, that's well said. All right, La, I hope that this was very useful to you. It's our take on a 3 weeks itinerary in New Zealand, where you start in Christchurch and you finish in Auckland. If you do have any follow-up questions in the live chat right now, just put them up. If you are watching a replay of this video, you can put in the comments of any of our videos, and we're here to actually answer all your questions, even if your name is not La and you're not the one that asked the question. And obviously, if you did find this video useful, a free way to support us is to actually click the like button or the subscribe button in order to just, tell YouTube that you like this video. You can also visit nzpocketguide.com, in which we actually have a written version of all our tips for traveling in New Zealand. It's actually the largest travel guide to New Zealand. And you can also check out other videos on this channel because there is a lot. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the live chat.